filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built the win, applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Welcome back to CTC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back with another episode. And this time I checked my mic before we went live, so I wouldn't do like I did last time, go 12 minutes into a show before I realized my mic was muted. But thank y'all for tuning in. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. It helps the channel, helps the network. It helps my channel, CTC, by way of the Refuse to Lose Network. Like I said, this is a network, so we do have shows on the network. We have the main show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave. They will be live tonight, 7 to about 8:30ish. Make sure y'all check them out. We got Unfazed every Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, featuring Joe and AJ. Might be a little interesting going on tonight. Next, we got BWT Baseball with Teddy. Two awards were announced last night. Shout out to Nick Kurtz, I believe, who won AL Rookie of the Year, and Drake Baldwin, who won NL Rookie of the Year. Let me double check. I want to make sure I'm right on the AL one. I know for a fact it was Drake Baldwin. NL AL Rookie of the Year was Nick Kurtz. Okay, cool. But yeah, make sure y'all tune in to BWT. He posted that's who he thought they were going to win those awards, and they won. We got FFC Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. Week 10 is officially over, so make sure y'all listen to Coach Coombs for some waiver wire pickups. It's week 11, getting so much closer to the fantasy football playoffs. I don't know when some of y'all are. Some people's are like week 14, week 15. As long as your championship, not week 18. But make sure y'all tune in to Coach Coombs for that. Then we got Dave's Doghouse highlights and lowlights of sports. We got RBO Real Ballers Only featuring Vaughn NBA show. We got In the Red Corner featuring Ty, Ricky, and Tomo boxing show. They go live like every other Sunday. They went live not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before that. So they may be going live this Sunday. Normally they go live around 7 o'clock. Make sure y'all tune into that. And that's all the shows we have on the network. So please like, comment, share, subscribe to those shows. And if you like what you're listening to, stick with us. Now, one other thing before I get into this week in college football, week 11. My picking record, man, is picking up. We are actually 106-57. But we're close to 50 games above 500. Week 11 was a great week. We went 12-3. Our 3 losses were Memphis. We picked Memphis. No, we picked Tulane. No, we picked Memphis, excuse me. We picked Memphis over Tulane, which for the life of me, I can't get that matchup right. The past 3 years, I didn't have a show. I didn't got that matchup wrong every time. So, hey, if you want to pick a winner in Memphis Tulane, listen to me and then pick the opposite of what I say, because for these last 3 years, I can't get that right. We got that one wrong. That was the only game we got wrong over the weekday, and over the weekend, I got wrong page. It was 2 of them. I got the San Diego State Hawaii game. By the way, I am never betting against Hawaii at Hawaii ever again. I've never seen that San Diego State defense look as bad as I seen it look this past Saturday. Now, if you're wondering, Carl, it wasn't on TV. How you watch it? Mind your business. But I never seen it as bad as it looked. And we lost the Wake Forest Virginia game. Now we'll talk about that one. So I'm gonna just leave it at we lost that game for right now. But yeah, so we're currently 106.57, 12-3 through week 11, which I mean 12-3 on week 11, which I take that any day of the week. But we move on. Let's start with our upsets of this week. So these are numerically. So I know the first matchup I'm about to say, you're about to be like, Carl, they were favored by 10.5 points. Now, when it comes to this segment, I don't care about Vegas. We are talking about the rankings. BYU was ranked 7th. Texas Tech was ranked 8th. This is technically an upset. So it's on the segment. But Texas Tech wins at home 29-7. And this game went exactly like I thought it would. I told you it was going to be kind of like the Utah game because they're very similar to me in play style. Texas Tech just dominated this game. BYU, they couldn't sustain drives. They couldn't really get past the 50. I believe BYU had 9 plays, single-digit plays in Texas Tech territory. Jacob Rodriguez caught an interception. I hear a lot of buzz around Jacob Rodriguez for Heisman. Nah, we're not doing that. I love Jacob Rodriguez. He was literally the thumbnail for my Week 11 preview, but we're not doing that. But yeah, they just dominated. They dominated. BYU couldn't get past the 50. Texas Tech held BYU to 3 of 14 on third down and 1 of 3 on fourth down. They forced 3 turnovers. It was a straight domination by the Texas Tech defense. And Texas Tech scored on 3 straight drives at one point during this game. They scored a field goal, a touchdown, a field goal to go up 13-0. And I mean, the way that game was going, a double-digit lead, even though this is football, not basketball, which is like a double-digit lead could only be 2 possessions, like 13-0 is only 2 possessions. But it felt like 5. It felt like a 40-point lead in that type of game for Texas Tech. So just utter domination there. And Texas Tech, they should be moving up a little bit in the rankings to this Tuesday. Now, I'm not doing poll talk, and I won't be doing poll talk for my later show because I will be doing a show around 6 o'clock to talk about the action games this week. Because I'm not doing poll talk because the college football committee, they dropped their rankings at, I believe, 7 o'clock. So I want to get the games out before. So I can't wait till the committee drops it because the games come on like literally right after. So it won't allow me to give my prediction. So I have to give y'all my poll talk probably on Friday, if not Saturday. I'll see if I'm going to talk about some of the Friday games or not. But we can move on to the next upset. We have Wisconsin upsets Washington 13-10 in a grimy game, ugly game. The rain was pouring down. Wisconsin won. It wasn't even off a walk-off field goal. They kicked their field goal like late in the third quarter. But Washington would score their only touchdown in their last points with a one-handed catch by Denzel Boston midway through the second quarter. Washington did get a field goal blocked. Excuse me, I want to say midway through the third or late in the third quarter. They did get a field goal blocked. Wisconsin was only able to score their only touchdown due to a fumble, and they ran it in. Quarterback ran it in. This game was, like I said, it was just sloppy. It was defensive. It was ugly. And Wisconsin was able to pull out a win. Damon Williams on fourth down, the game on the line, tried to scramble. And the quarterback spy for Wisconsin made the play. He actually made a sack. He tackled him behind the line of scrimmage to end the game. It was just a great, hard-fought win for the Badgers of Wisconsin. Washington, this is a bad loss. If you had any hope for the college football playoffs, which I don't think they were getting in. So this is really technically just for like a there we go. As a shout out, Joe. Appreciate you for fixing that. I appreciate it. But yeah, it was just a great win for Wisconsin. And this win for Wisconsin keeps their bowl game hopes alive. So definitely shout out to them. Next, we move on to Wake Forest at Virginia. Wake Forest beat 14th ranked Virginia on the road. Now, I will say this. To start the game, Wake Forest gets down to the goal line, and their 4th and goal play just went awry. It was a pitch gone bad. He had to recover the ball 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It was 4th and goal. It was at the 1. So I'm not mad at them for going for it. It's just the play just was a disaster. Virginia goes down to get 2 field goals. I believe they got the second one after Chandler Morris got hurt. He would leave the game on Unnecessary roughness. He tried to slide. Dude hit him late. He was out for the remainder of the game, and that turned the game around, to be honest. Wake Forest got a punt return late in that second quarter, late in the first half, went up 7-6, got a field goal. And Virginia just couldn't get any offense going consistently, couldn't put the ball in the end zone. They could move the ball to the Wake Forest side of the field, but they wouldn't get in range enough to score. Wake Forest defense stepped up in the absence of Chandler Morris for the Virginia Wahoos or the Virginia Cavaliers. And I honestly think if Chandler Morris plays in this game, I do think there's a different result. I do think Wake Forest does lose because Wake Forest didn't even score an offensive touchdown in this game. Their touchdown, like I said, came from the punt return, and then other than that, they got 3 field goals. And they just couldn't punch it in. Like, they got in the red zone, they got in scoring range, they just could not figure it out to punch it in. So I think that ultimately Chandler Morris getting hurt was the reason why Wake Forest was able to win this game and get the upset. And they could cause some disarray in the ACC. Speaking of disarray in the ACC, we go to another ACC upset. Cal upsets Louisville, 15th ranked Louisville, 29-26, in overtime. Now, this was actually a really good game. Cal went down, didn't score, missed the field goal. Louisville would actually go down and score first, but Cal would then answer. It just seemed like Cal would answer everything Louisville gave them. Like, Louisville scored a touchdown, Cal would score. Louisville kick a field goal, Cal would kick a field goal. Cal was just able to continuously answer. But the biggest thing to me in this one is the lack of turnovers that Cal had in this game. That was really big in my opinion. And also the biggest thing to me is that both defenses stepped up in the fourth quarter, forcing overtime. And in overtime, Cal would force Louisville to kick a field goal. And then on 4th and goal from the 1, they did what Pitt should have did against Toledo in the bowl game and went for it. Jacob DeJesus zig route, got open, wins it on a 4th and goal at the 1 yard line in overtime. I love the decision to go for it by Coach Wilcox. We're at the 1 yard line. If we kick this field goal and get it, we got to go right back on the field and go down and score. Let's end it here. We're dogs. We're on the road. We don't want anything like momentum-wise to happen. Let's end the game here. And I love it. And they got the W. Shout out to Cal for becoming bowl eligible and beating Louisville again, throwing some disarray in the ACC. And that is the last game we have for the upset section of our show. So we'll move on to notable games. And the first notable game I want to talk about is the battle for the bricks in Miami, Ohio versus Ohio, which Ohio won 24-20. And that game was really good, man. At first, it started off being a defensive slugfest. Ohio would then get a field goal. Miami of Ohio would match with a touchdown. Then it kind of stalled. And then it just became fireworks happened literally in the second half. Ohio would score a touchdown. Miami came down, scored a touchdown right back. Then Sia Bangarua took a kick return to the crib. They ran like a little fake reverse, and Bangarua found a hole, ran right through it. He scored. Then Miami would come down and score again. Then Ohio, Parker Navarro. I was thinking of Preston, the point guard they used to play for Ohio basketball. His last name escapes me right now. Oh, Jason Preston. But Parker Navarro, he will roll out, throw a pass to Harris down the field. He made a play, scored the touchdown, and then Daquan Finn would then throw a pick around midfield late in the ball game. Ohio would get a first down to win it, and that'd be a ball game. It was a great ball game, a really good ball game. Ohio edged it out. Ohio, man, like I said on my preview show for the action, that home field advantage is serious for the University of Ohio. They've only lost one game in 4 years at their home field. Now, granted, their one loss was to Miami of Ohio, but they just don't lose at home as a recent. I mean, Coach Albin is now gone at Charlotte, and not Coach Kelly, that's Jack State. I can't remember his name right now, but he was the interim for the bowl game. He was under Coach Albin, and he stepped in and just same thing. Just don't lose at home. Great win for Ohio. It is now actually a 4-way tie atop the MAC right now between Miami of Ohio, Western Michigan, and Buffalo. So this week in game should be interesting, especially because Ohio plays Western Michigan today, and Buffalo plays Central Michigan, which Central Michigan is not that bad either. So should be interesting this week in action. Well, today in action. But we'll move on to Tulane. Like I said earlier, they beat Memphis 38-32. It would have been an upset, but the college football committee did not have Memphis ranked like the AP polls did, so it is not an upset because the college football committee is what we go by. But Tulane, man, they came out on fire this game. They 5 touchdowns to 1 punt in the entire first half. It looked like they was going to run away with this. Memphis did manage to put up 17 points in the first half, but Tulane just looked unstoppable. But then Memphis holds Tulane to 3 points in the second half, and they get on their run of their own. They start scoring points. They put up 15 points in the second half, but they had 2 opportunities to take the lead late in that ball game. The first one, Brandon Lewis throws an interception. He gets hurt, and then the backup comes in, and they get a turnover on downs on 4th down, and they're not able to take the lead, and Tulane hangs on to win a big American Athletic Conference game, giving Memphis their second loss in the conference. Tulane, they are still 1 loss in the American, I believe, and that was, I think, last week to UTSA. Which this is my American Athletic Conference champion, so I needed that one, for my preseason prediction. But it's looking to be a fun race in the American. We still got ECU up there. Like I said, Memphis had 2 losses. Navy only has 1 American loss. They took a loss to Notre Dame, but their only American loss is to North Texas. So they're up there. North Texas is up there. It's a man. We want to talk about a race in the MAC, a race in the SEC. It's a race in the American too. As I try to look up the standings for that one, just so I can get y'all the real. But let's see, we got Navy at 5-1, USF at 4-1, Tulane 4-1, North Texas 4-1, ECU 4-1. So Navy is up by half a game because they played more American Athletic Conference games. Because I think Army in the last game of the season is not going to be a conference game. I don't think that is. But Navy, they play South Florida this week, and they play Memphis next week. So we got big implications coming up in the American. The American is so fun to watch. Can't lie. Next notable game we got. Southern Miss remains undefeated in the Sun Belt as they beat Arkansas State 27-21. Now, Southern Miss dominated this game throughout the entirety of it. I say majority of it. Came out, forced a fumble, but in the red zone twice, they could not get touchdowns. They settled for field goals, which would be huge later on in the game. They did hit like a 76-yard pass to Elijah Metcalf late in the first half to go up 17-7. Arkansas State, though, will find their offense in the fourth quarter where they put up 14 points, I believe, back-to-back touchdowns. But on a game-winning drive to take the lead after going for 2 on their second touchdown and getting it, which I'm not a fan of doing so, but it worked. So I guess I can't say too much. They just ran out of time. They had 4 seconds left, threw a pass in the end zone. Pass was, I believe, intercepted, but it was like a desperation. You know what I'm saying? And Southern Miss will hang on to win on the road. Like I said, remaining undefeated in the Sun Belt. They are leading their division of the Sun Belt while JMU is leading their side of the Sun Belt, which is crazy because that was my Sun Belt championship. I had JMU winning it, beating Southern Miss. So right now it looks like they're on a collision course to play each other. And the last game, I got a couple more. The next game on notable games, which I probably should have put this on game to mention, but we're here now. Third-ranked Texas A&M beats 22nd ranked Mizzou 38-17. Now, Texas A&M, they just dominated this game. Defensively, they dominated, period. They struck first, 7-zip. They shut out Mizzou in the first half. They was up 14-0 at halftime. And when Ruben Owens broke that 57-yard touchdown run, it felt like a dagger midway through the fourth quarter. Texas A&M not really giving up a bunch, stifling that offense, which, I mean, the offense was led by true freshman Matt Zolas in his first start. So that's to be expected when you're going up against an elite defense of Texas A&M. So, I mean, not too much to really say on this game. Texas A&M just dominated, a dominant win. It's unfortunate that they just going to stay at 3 because Ohio State dominant win against Purdue and Indiana beat Penn State, which we'll talk about later. But if I'm Texas A&M, I'd be cool sitting at 3. 3 is a pretty good spot to sit in. So now the interesting thing is last year Texas A&M lost 3 straight in the SEC. Let's see what goes on this year, which I think they'll be fine, but it's just something to look out for. Oregon, comeback win against Iowa. Now, the reason why I say comeback is because Iowa scored the go-ahead touchdown with a 151 left to go up 16-15. But Oregon was up most of this game. Like, I have to say it's a comeback because, I mean, you down late in the ball game under 2 minutes. That's a comeback. But Oregon was up the majority of this game. Now, here's my thing, right? A lot of controversy with the safety that happened. They was like, well, the punter touched the ball at the 1 yard line. Bro, that ball not dead. It was a bad snap. That means if I'm a punter, right, by the logic of Iowa fans, and the ball go in my head, but I pick it up to punt it, would y'all call that dead? No. It's a bad snap. I picked it up and punted it. It's not dead. It's only dead once you punt the ball past the line of scrimmage and then you touch it. A bad snap, you pick it up or touch the ball, it's not dead. You got to do what you got to do. And, I mean, it was a smart penalty for him to smack it out the back of the end zone and just, play defense again. Because if he don't, more than likely he recovers it at the 1 and you set up Oregon for an easy touchdown. Now, granted, they did score a touchdown after the safety. But, hey, I mean, the way your defense been playing, you got to trust it. So that safety thing, I don't get why people thought that'd be dead. No, it's not dead. And that was the right call. You can't smack the ball out of bounds. He did it, safety. But other than that, I mean, this was a real defensive game. Both teams only scored 1 touchdown in the first half. Like I said, Oregon got the field goal, and they got the safety we just talked about. And then Iowa scored the go-ahead touchdown with 151 left to go up 16-15. But that pass Dante Moore threw to Malik Benson down the right sideline, that was just a beauty. To get them in field goal range, that was a beauty, man. That was a beautiful ball he threw. Dante Moore led them down the field, and they kicked the field goal to ultimately win the game in Kinnick. And I told you, well, I ain't going to say I told y'all because I did pick Oregon to win, but I said that Iowa might be on upset alert. And Iowa, they almost had it, man. They almost had it. But if you took the points, you was looking sweet. If you took the points for Iowa, you was looking sweet. But, yeah, that was a really good game, really defensive game. That looked like Big Ten football right there. And then the last game we got to talk about before we go to games to mention is Kansas loses to Arizona 24-20. Now, this game, I didn't think it would be as defensive as it was. I thought it would be like fireworks. This game wasn't really an explosive fest. Like Arizona scored the game-winning touchdown late in the ball game to get 24. Like, the first half, it was cool. It was 17-14. You think like, all right, it might be some explosions, but Kansas only scored 3 points in the second half. They only scored 3 points in the second half. They scored a field goal on their first drive, and that was it. While Arizona, who scored a go-ahead touchdown after Kansas would miss a field goal late in the ball game. So it was more of a defensive game than I thought. Arizona got a much-needed W, and Kansas is still looking to find that win to become bowl eligible, where I believe Arizona is now bowl eligible. So shout out Brett Brennan and the Wildcats of Arizona. And we move on to games to mention. We got like 5 games to mention. You heard me talk about some of them already. First game, LSU loses on the road to Alabama 20-9. Alabama just stifles this offense. This LSU team is just in disarray. It's in disarray. I can't really speak too much on this LSU team. I'm just as shocked as most. I was high on them, and they're just not good this year. I don't know what it is. They're just one of the surprise teams that's just not that good this year. Indiana goes into Penn State and gets their first win ever in Penn State in Happy Valley due to an amazing catch by Omar Cooper Jr. in the back of the end zone. Penn State, man, they played a great game. Danny Denai Sutton played a great game. Zion Tracy caught that late game interception to lead into that Penn State go-ahead touchdown drive. But Mendoza bounces back from that pick yet again, just like he did against Oregon, and leads a game-winning touchdown drive this week. And it was a great catch by Omar Cooper Jr. Iowa State, off a punt return, beats TCU 20-17, getting them bowl eligible. They lost 4 straight. They broke that losing streak. I mean, that was, to me, due in large part to injuries. But they break that losing streak, and they become bowl eligible. Vanderbilt, 16th ranked Vanderbilt, beats Auburn in overtime, 45-38. Just an explosive game. This game, to me, was kind of what I thought Kansas or Arizona would be. It was just A lot of offense. Auburn came out real stubborn at first against the run, but Vanderbilt found things later in the ball game to move the ball. Vanderbilt would come back to force overtime. Well, Vanderbilt would come back to go up, and I think Auburn would force overtime, and Vandy got the dub. In the last game, like I said, man, never bet against Hawaii at Hawaii again. Hawaii beat San Diego State 38-6. It looks like San Diego State didn't know how to play defense that game. Hawaii got whatever they wanted. 3rd and 30, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 1, 4th and 50. They got it. So shout out to the Rainbow Warriors. They are actually on the top of the Mountain West. They are in contention to win the Mountain West this year. Shout out Micah Alejado, Profili, Ashlock, Jackson Harris. Shout out the Rainbow Warriors, man. They are a good team to be reckoned with. And we'll move on to major performances. So, got a lot of names today. When do I not? I try to cut down on some, but I try to show love too. I got 2 defensive players on the list today too. So, I try to show love to the defense. First, we got Jordan Gant. Sia Ben. Yards, a touchdown, and a kickoff return. Marcus Sanders Jr., wide receiver, Georgia Southern, 6 catches, 127 yards, and a touchdown. Keyshawn Singleton, wide receiver, South Florida, 4 catches, 122 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Makai Lemon, wide receiver, USC, 11 catches, 161 yards, and a touchdown. Philip Dunham, defensive back, UCF, 4 total tackles, 3 solos, 3 picks, and a touchdown. Jake Retzlaff, quarterback, Tulane, 16 of 23, 332 yards, 3 touchdowns, 10 carries, 42 yards, and a touchdown. So 4 total touchdowns for him. Cortez Branham Jr., wide receiver, Memphis, 11 catches, 113 yards. Jeremiah Smith, wide receiver, Ohio State, 10 catches, 137 yards, and a touchdown. Ruben Owens, running back, Texas A&M, 13 carries, 102 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Nate Frazier, running back, Georgia, 12 carries, 181 yards, and a touchdown. Jacob DeJesus, wide receiver, Cal, 16 carries, 158 yards, and a touchdown. Kewan Brown, running back, Louisville, 14 carries, 136 yards. Cam Coleman, wide receiver, Auburn, 10 catches, 143 yards, and a touchdown. Ashton Daniels, quarterback, Auburn, 31 of 44, 353 yards, 2 touchdowns, 18 carries, 89 yards, and 2 touchdowns, so 4 total touchdowns. Eric Singleton Jr., 11 catches, 102 yards, and a touchdown, wide receiver, Auburn. Diego Pavia, quarterback, Vanderbilt, 25 of 33, 377 yards, 3 touchdowns, 18 carries, 112 yards, and a touchdown, so 4 total touchdowns. Trey Richardson, wide receiver, Vanderbilt, 3 catches, 124 yards, and a touchdown. Keelan Marion, wide receiver, Miami Hurricanes, 3 catches, 116 yards, and a touchdown. Ymir Knight, wide receiver, SMU, 7 catches, 162 yards, and a touchdown. Amarion Miller, wide receiver, Colorado, 6 catches, 131 yards, and a touchdown. Elijah Metcalf, wide receiver, Southern Mississippi, 5 catches, 143 yards, and a touchdown. Jaden Thomas, running back, UNLV, 7 carries, 131 yards, and a touchdown. And Josh Moten, cornerback, Southern Mississippi, 6 total tackles, 4 solos, and 3 interceptions on the day for those guys. So shout out Josh Moten and Philip Dunham, the defensive players that made my major performances this week. Y'all did great things. Actually, Philip Dunham kept UCF alive throughout that Houston game before Houston actually won it. But that is the end of CTC this week in college football, week 11. I will be right back at y'all with some action around 6:15. Actually, let me make sure they play at 7:30, not 7. Because I might. Oh no, well, R2L going at 7, so I'm gonna be at y'all at 6:15, no matter what. But we got 2 good games tonight. We also got some good college basketball, man. Like let's talk about some college basketball real quick. Michigan State gets the dub against Arkansas at home in the Breslin in a hard-fought game. 3-point shooting, 1 of 14 for Michigan State. But hey, man, we showed some heart and got the dub. Let's take this off. Last night, Iowa State absolutely destroys Mississippi State by 20, I think, or something like that. Creighton absolutely destroyed, not Vanderbilt. Oh my God, Gonzaga absolutely destroyed Oklahoma Saturday night. Gonzaga looks really good. Graham Ike, Braden Smith, shout out to him, the one from Colgate. He transferred to Gonzaga. They look really good. We got, some good games. We got some good games today. We got Texas Tech, Illinois. That should be a good one. We got Kentucky, Louisville. That should be a good one. We got Gonzaga, Creighton off the late tip. That should be great. So yeah, some pretty good college basketball today. So tune in to that as well. But like I said, I'm gonna come at y'all around 16:15 for some action. Also, last thing, y'all gotta show the college basketball some love, man. I'm trying to provide y'all with some college basketball content in the midst of college football, but they don't get the love nearly as much as my college football shorts do. But I'm gonna keep providing them, but I'm just asking for a little love. But with all that being said, I'm gone. I'll see y'all later. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.